How's it going, everybody? So, multiple Kyoshins are annoying. That is something you read in a lot of places now. YouTube comment sections, Discords, and even on Reddit. He's fine on his own, but as soon as you face more, he becomes really unfun to fight. And yeah, I agree. So this is probably the best opportunity to bring up this topic again. Yes, we are going to talk about single pick again. I know that this video will probably not gain a lot of traction and most likely not a lot of views either, and a lot of people will now close the browser window, but not before leaving a dislike. Because we all know a dislike or a downvote makes that thing no longer true. That is how the internet works, always remember that. So, for all of you still here, we're going to approach this topic a little different than last time. You all know I'm all for single pick, but there's also no denying that it comes with additional problems. It's not just about flipping that one switch and everything's fine. The community has tried to present a couple of solutions, so we're taking a look at those, and you might even be surprised about my conclusion in the end. So let's start with one of the most recent ones. The suggestion is that we adapt an XP system similar to what Dead by Daylight has. Meaning you get universal XP points and then you can put them on any hero regardless of who you just played. Upon first hearing this, it actually makes a lot of sense. But in Dead by Daylight they have a little bit of a different advancement system. Let me explain. Imagine that every perk in For Honor is linked to a specific character. For example, to get Vengeful Barrier you need to play Shugoki to rep 10 and then it becomes available for all your other heroes. So to get a 3 perk combination, you need to have them unlocked by leveling 3 different heroes. This is simplified and adapted to For Honor, but you get the idea. The game forces you to play different heroes. That's not the case in For Honor. You don't play a hero to unlock things for another one. You play a hero because you want to play that hero. Whether you want to level them, unlock fashion, or simply like playing them. While sometimes you might be compelled to play a hero you don't really want to play at that moment, because of event gear or whatever, but the XP on that character isn't of any importance at the moment. You just pour XP into random heroes without really needing to. And if Dead by Daylight changed that system, then feel free to not tell me down in the comment section because it's irrelevant to my argument. Nevertheless, this doesn't solve the big problem that comes up every single time this topic is mentioned. What if I want to play XY character, but someone else picked them first? If you just play for the XP, then yeah, no problem with the new system. But for the most part, this is about actually wanting to play that hero. Be it because that person is a one trick, can only play one hero, or whatever other reason. And like many have pointed out, players will ultimately leave matches if they don't get to play that one specific hero. A new hero releases and everyone wants to play them. They also want to level them, but that's just a secondary thought in that case. So, while this is an egotistic reason, it is also very natural. For Honor is a game and many players just want to have some mindless fun, then log off and do something else. But it is also at the center of the problem. So what about the very often suggested, just have us pick a hero before we queue? Now imagine this when a new hero releases. How long are you willing to sit in the queue? Because that queue will not pop. You will never find a game. Which is the second core issue. Queue length, or rather player population. Because another suggestion is to just make a ranked queue and put single pick there. That one usually comes from players that never had any intention of touching that ranked mode to begin with. But let's not kid ourselves. We aren't the biggest game out there. We have a good population considering the genre For Honor is in, but more playlists is not the answer. Don't get me wrong, a ranked mode would be very welcome, especially if implemented properly, but maybe PlayStation has the needed player base to support short queues. But neither PC nor Xbox are big enough to not have mind-numbingly long queues after you reach a certain rank. So what am I saying then? I've been listing all the drawbacks and problems with single pick and the possible solutions, yet somehow I'm in favor of it. Yes, very much so. I think the benefits far outweigh the problems. The only thing that legit needs a closer look is the release of new heroes. That will require at the very least to have a fun event game mode that has multi-pick enabled. And while maybe a problem, that one will occur twice a year if we maintain the current schedule of hero releases. So let me ask you then, and please answer honestly, how big of a deal would it actually be most of the time? We have a big enough roster of heroes, even new accounts have access to a lot of characters, and most of you veteran players do play multiple heroes anyways. At the moment, we even have the casual community complaining about multi-picks, a problem that must occur tons of times each play session, otherwise it wouldn't come up that often. Compare this to how often someone will pick quote-unquote your hero. So yes, sometimes you will need to play something else. This is absolutely unavoidable with this system. This is a sacrifice every one of us needs to make to have an overall better playtime experience. Or at least that's the argument I'm making. I don't want to reiterate all the things I've said in the past about this, like game balance not being a factor at all, as many games with single pick have similar balance issues like For Honor. Even the biggest games out there have had periods of a single character being the de facto best pick for months on end. The only reason for not implementing, or at the very least trying it once again, not in a testing ground, force it on players for a few weeks and then get feedback. Because if you give players the option to not try it, then they will do exactly that. And afterwards, then they will tell you that they don't like it without even having played a single game with the feature on. But the point I was making, the only reason to wait is if crossplay is coming and we get to enjoy one big population instead of 3 fragmented ones. That's the only thing that makes sense in my head. I don't know how much hope I should have for that. We will see. But yeah, it's time for single pick. No more clowning around, no half measures like dual pick or whatever nonsense that people come up with. It'll be a sour pill to swallow for some, but in the end, pretty much everyone will realize that it was a remedy all along. Feel free to go to the comment section now and check what colorful names people are calling me this time. I sure will. I hope the video was interesting. Thanks for watching. Laters, everybody.
Yeah, well, I'm the authority on funny, so nice, nice drive, pal.
You're such a Leo, honestly.
I'm literally such a Gemini. It's insane. I'm such a cool person.
Are you even a Gemini? That's the next thing.
I am a Gemini.
Yeah, okay, fair enough. I'm not doubting anything, because I have no fucking clue.
You sounded so offended. I am one.
Yeah, that's why my skills with people are so great.